Alright, ShareLoveT here. We're checking out Circle of Life on Core Games. Death in Life and Life in Death. Try breaking the cycle of duality. So this is a pretty simple game. It's set up in rounds, I think, set up for multiplayer. You could have up to 5 players. Um, there doesn't seem to be a leaderboard or anything like that, and it's just one level. But it's pretty fun. So here we go. We have a little tutorial. You just use WASD to move around, and starting out as a little cute herbivore. Eat plants that have lower energy than you until you have enough to evolve to a carnivore. Then work your way up by eating animals. Herbivore up to 1,000, carnivore up to 2,600, and then omnivore when you reach 7,000. When dying, you lose all your energy, bringing new life onto the island. Don't get eaten by other players. So yeah, if you're in a multiplayer, I guess you could eat each other. As you can see at the top, I'm gonna get rid of the tutorial here. I have a round counter on the top that's counting down. I think you normally start with 4 minutes. But I was in the lobby here to get ready to start this video, so that's why the timer's almost done. But essentially what you want to eat, you have these numbers over the plants. So you always want to eat something smaller than you, and then eventually you're going to transition to a different animal, and then you'll start that all over again. So for me, I got a lot of hints of nostalgia, and this actually brought me to thinking about a game that I used to play on the Apple II computer back in elementary. So it involved math and it involved numbers. So while I'm playing through, maybe you guys could try and take a guess at what game I'm talking about. And I'm gonna throw in a little clip of it, maybe at the end here. And yeah, so I mean, I ended up having to search for a bit to figure out what game I was trying to think of from my childhood. But I ended up finding it on DOSBox, and yeah, I figured it would be like a little fun nostalgia. Maybe it'd be cool to see, not really that fun to play, and I got sucked into it, and it's actually still, I would say, holds up and is really fun. So I think it's a good game that is ripe for a remake. And even the gameplay as it is now, is pretty cool. But with a new coat of paint, bring it to a new audience. So as you can see, I'm getting to be a bigger sheep. Now I can eat these bigger plants. Eventually I'm going to turn into a rat. Then you're going to want to be eating the other rats until you get big enough to start eating the foxes and then the tigers. Alright, so now we're our little rat here, so you could see. The stuff that's smaller than me starts running away, so let's see the mice the rats or whatever start running away. Oh, see, now the foxes are running away. That means I'm big enough to eat them. And you can see that those tigers aren't running yet, so we still have to chomp down some animals before we get to them. But yeah, this game doesn't have a ton of replayability. I think with maybe a leaderboard or, if you could add some more animals, have another level or something like that, start off as I don't know, maybe even as a fish, and then work your way up onto land, and then, I think that this concept anyways definitely has some potential. So while this is not maybe the coolest, it's not the coolest game on Core or the funnest game on Core, but it is quite an original concept, and it gave me those nostalgic vibes, and it also gives me a chance to talk about the other game I'd like to talk about at the end of this video. So after this round, I'm gonna hop out of here. We're gonna hop over to DOSBox, and we'll see if any of you guys guessed it right. So you guys can let me know down in the comments if you actually remembered the game that I'm gonna be showing you guys after. Yeah, another game this kind of makes me think of is Feeding Frenzy, which I've played both. I think there was two different Feeding Frenzy games, and I really enjoyed those games. You know, start off as little fish, keep getting bigger. Really fun. Oh, look at that, we got somebody else. Oh, if it isn't the Helmet Kid. We have a hamster joining us on the island. Helmet Kids actually took core boot camp with me. One of my fellow peers. So yeah, again, you know, simple mechanic strikes again for me because, you know, right away it's nice and simple. You have these little fun crunch sounds when you crunch into the animals or the plants. It's just a fun game. Alright, so before I get sucked into finishing another round, we'll pop over to the other game and let me know down in the comments again if you guys remember this game and if you guessed it right. Alright, so here it is. The moment y'all been waiting for. It's Number Munchers. That's the game I've been talking about. So this is from my childhood. Played this game in elementary. Plays a bit like Pac-Man, something like kind of like Q*bert, like a one-screen arcade game, old school. Has some math elements to it. It's all basic math that most people know. And yeah, I'm very nostalgic for it. The sounds, everything. You could hear the opening theme right now when it kicks in. Kind of sounds like Video and Arcade Top 10 from Nickelodeon. I don't know if any of you guys remember that. It was a video game show from the 90s. Probably ran all the way into the 2000s, I think. Even. Yeah, so you can see on the scoreboard, you have my name up on top, Tori. So if anybody was wondering what the T stands for, and also I just wanted to mention before we get started, that last game, Circle of Life, was made by Cell SP. So sometimes I forget to mention the creators' names for games, so I apologize to anybody in past episodes or future episodes. Try and do my best, but sometimes it slips my mind. So we're gonna hop in here. We're gonna try and dodge some Troggles, which are the name of the enemies in this game. So you have some different options. You could go and you can change the difficulty. We'll stick to the default for now. You have 5 different categories: multiples, factors, primes, equality, inequality, and challenge, which mixes all 5 of them. We're gonna stick to multiples so that you know, I don't have to think too hard while I'm trying to talk to you guys. So yeah, if any of you guys remember this game or played it in elementary school, let me know and tell me what you thought of it. 'Cause I have definitely a lot of nostalgia for this game, and I think it's one of the few educational games that I've enjoyed. You know, I think on the most part, educational games get a bad rep because most of them aren't very fun. So as soon as you hear educational game, most of us are turned off right away. But I think this one is definitely one of those exceptions. And you know, so anybody that's younger that, you know, maybe wouldn't have tried this game, I suggest giving it a try and let me know. Am I wearing my nostalgia goggles a little too tight? this game actually pretty fun, because I think it's pretty fun, and with a new coat of paint, I think, you know, I think you could bring this to a newer generation. The gameplay's still there, it's still quite enjoyable. So you have these really funny dated cutscenes that are, I don't know, kind of make me think of Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, because the enemies are always trying to get you and it just goes wrong for them. Neener, neener, neener. Yeah, so a couple other games that I played in elementary were Odell Lake, which I retried, and that game I thought it was like more like Feeding Frenzy, like a fast action game where you move your fish around, and it's really not like that. So that one definitely is not doesn't hold up. But this game, I think, really took me by surprise. And I'm not like a big fan of doing math or anything. Not really like a math nerd, but so you can see those the red troggles switch the numbers behind them. Oh, I'm still thinking. So each enemy has a different pattern and does a different thing. So that yellow guy is gonna try and follow us around. He's kind of a jerk. Most of them go in a straight line. Oh no, I didn't want to eat that. So yeah, you have a bit more control if you use the keyboard and instead of the mouse, because the mouse will kind of choose which line it gets to the spot you've clicked on, and also if you double click by mistake, you can end up eating something you don't want to eat. So I got eaten there. I just lost my last life. Oops, you were eaten by a Troglus Smarticus. So he's a smart one. He follows you down. So yeah, really fun, nostalgic game. I think the Muncher series had a couple games in it. The other ones I think were word-based, or more like a trivia. I haven't played the other ones, but I think this framework could work good for trivia, and put a modern spin on it. Have some more modern categories. And yeah, so definitely let me know. Am I just this nostalgic taking over here and convince me this game's better than it is, or is this still a fun arcade title? And yeah, I wish you all a great day, and thanks for checking it out.
Yo, it's the Score Game Masters. You know who I am. That's right, I'm Nicholas Pickles, and this is the one and only Video and Arcade Top 10. We're here once again to enhance your game skills, bring sweet sounds of music to your ears, and heighten your viewing enjoyment with flicks on the big screen and hot new video releases. Liza, tell the people what else they're up for today.
Well, you guys must know by now the incredible prizes we give away here on BNA. If you want a chance to get your mitts on one of those hot items, join us here in studio or become a home player. Now you can win this Wunderbar XR100 dirt bike from Honda if you write in and let us know why you deserve to boot around on this fully loaded speed machine. Nicholas, the address, please.
The address is Video and Arcade.